Once again, here I was, waiting for a truck to come to our building site. This time it was just the truck head. It did not bring any material. After installing the walls in just one day with a crane, I asked Blocken to bring their crane to help install the roof trusses. Here you can see all the walls that we installed the day before. Blocken owns this truck that they use for their own business. They fitted it with a Fussy crane, an Italian-made crane that can span over 23 meters, and that is a beautifully made machine. First, we needed to stabilize the truck, using the 4 legs that it has. The goal for this day was to install all the roof trusses, the skylight, and maybe if we had time left, to start installing the roof panels. There were 26 roof trusses to be installed. Here are a bunch waiting to be picked. Not all the trusses were exactly the same. The idea was to grab each truss with the crane, place it exactly where it needed to go, and then screw it to the structure. Unfortunately for us, while taking the first one close to its place, we heard this beep. It means that the crane reached its maximum, and that we were not able to take the truss any closer to this end of the house. This was actually the max it could reach. After seeing what the problem was, we decided to park the truck with the back facing the house and try again. That way, the head of the truck will not be in the middle of the crane. This time, as you can see, we were able to reach the end of the house directly with the crane, so we did not need to use our body strength to install it. First truss of the house was officially installed. This second truss is a special one, as it has a cutout to fit the big beam that we have spanning over the massive living room window. It did not have any room for error, so I was a bit concerned whether it would fit right or not.
Para cá, Alex. Isso.
Aí ela tem que ficar faceada aí embaixo.
Embaixo, pá.
Tem que subir, não?
3 milímetros, pá. Não é muito.
As Alex and Fernando were discussing, the truss needed to be completely flush to the bottom of the beam, to assure a nice flat ceiling later on. We used these leftover pieces that Blocken brought. They actually come from the holes they cut out on the wall studs for the electrical cables. Fernando placed a couple of the metal pieces as shims to lift the truss up and make it flush to the beam, and then clamped the truss to the L angles and screwed it. Here is a view of how we were lifting the trusses. We installed a strap on each side of the truss and then hooked both ends of the strap to the crane steel hook. Then Felipe will use his PlayStation control to take it to its place. That day I really felt like we were 5 big kids playing around with our toys, but with the difference that we were actually building a full-scale house and not a small Lego. I decided to give you guys an exciting point of view and sat in the middle of the truss and rode with it. The wind was blowing hard and things got a bit sketchy, so it was not really fun for me. Of course, I am actually kidding, I was not on the truss. I just ended up putting our GoPro. How many of you thought that I was going to appear riding the truss? The trusses are pitching to one direction, creating the slope of the roof readying it, which slants to the north facade. This was a major design detail that I wanted to implement in the structure itself, because I really wanted to avoid having to build any additional slope later on, when we waterproof the roof. That is why you see us rotating the trusses all the time, as they can only go one way. Here you can see Alex grabbing the truss on one side, helping the crane to rotate the truss and place it facing the right way. At this moment we got lucky and were able to install all the trusses of this area one after the other. This area is actually our main bedroom and bathroom, and since we did not have to be moving the ladder from one place to another, in a matter of a few minutes we had all the trusses of these two rooms installed and screwed. Here in this image you can see that the trusses have 3 L angles installed on each side. They look like little wings. We installed all these L's before that day, as the roof panels will sit on top of them. So, to try to explain myself a little bit better, each roof panel will sit on top of the wings I just mentioned and right in between each truss. You will see that later in the video. With this technique we definitely did not have much room for errors when placing the trusses on the structure, as the roof panels needed to fit exactly in between them. So placing a truss 2-3 mm off its right place will make it later very difficult to fit the roof panels, as it wouldn't fit or it would be too loose. For that reason Alex and Fernando did a great job installing these other L's on top of the walls. They were placed exactly where each truss needed to go, leaving all ready for the crane to just bring the trusses to the exact location. That small detail sped up the job a lot, as we did not have to measure where each truss needed to go every time we install one. These L's also have the job to secure the trusses to the walls. Each L is connected to the walls with 4 SFS screws, the ones with the flat, almost invisible head. And then the truss is connected to the L with 4 SFS SD6 screws, the big ones with hex head. As you can see here, all the trusses always align with the vertical stud in the wall, so the stud can transfer the vertical load to the foundation. Just a simple detail, but that you need to be aware of if you build a structure like this. This space here is a detached space from the house. I get a lot of comments and messages of people not understanding its purpose. It will be like a workshop slash studio for me and Eugenia, and a space that is separate from our main house, where we can build and work with some more freedom than being in the actual house itself, but at the same time that is close to us every day. I'm also planning on maybe adding some gym equipment to do my post-run workouts and stretches in it, but to be honest, its final use it is a bit uncertain, as we do so many things that if we build a space for each activity that we do, I will really need to keep building until I'm 60. So for now, the interior design of this space will need to be good enough to hold many uses at once. As we were installing the last truss, I took a quick picture to maybe later frame it and hang it somewhere in the house, wherever Eugenia actually lets me. Jokes aside, the day was going great. Now we needed to install the big skylight, which was going to be an adventure in itself.
¿Hasta que puede? Yo no sé, ¿eh? ¿Achas que puede con esto?
Brane.
I took advantage of the 1 hour of the lunch break to tackle a project that I have been postponing for a while. We live in a very remote area and we barely see anybody around here, but during the last couple of weeks, some guys with a big white van have been coming up to the building site to check around. They are nomads that don't live in any specific place. And unfortunately, as most as you might already know, they make their living off stealing others' properties. Luckily for us, I was at the building site when they came last time, and I kinda sent them off with a hammer on hand. But the situation got me thinking, and since I cannot always be here to protect my property, I wanted to install a security system to watch over it when I'm not here. I went for the eufy Cam S3 Pro. It is a brand new product that is being released now. It comes with 2 cameras and a home base. The cameras are battery powered and get charged with a large built-in solar panel that is actually on top of the camera itself, so you don't need to connect it to electricity. And they both connect to the home base through Wi-Fi, so I did not need to use any wire connections. I just installed the 2 cameras where I wanted and connected them to the base using their app. One of the features that I liked the most was the max color vision technology, which gives you an impressive nighttime monitoring experience. It is powered by AI ISP and a 4K camera, which gives you a day-like footage in pitch black conditions, like you can see here. It's already pitch black, and as you can see, the camera is there, and you can see me now because I have the flashlight, but if I turn it off, this is what you actually see, so you cannot see anything. So it's kinda crazy what the camera catches at night. The built-in solar panel that the cameras have is large enough to charge the cameras with only 1 hour of sun a day, and it is very different from other cameras as it can charge even if it is partially covered. It also comes with an additional external solar panel. In case that you don't have good solar exposure, you just connect this external solar panel to the camera, and then it has a long cable, so you can place this elsewhere facing to the sun, and you charge the camera using this and also with the solar panel of the actual camera. So both solar panels will be charging, and in my case I don't need it because both cameras are exposed to the sun pretty much the whole day. It also has Pro Detection, which is a dual motion detection system that combines radar and passive infrared to accurately identify human movement and reduce false alerts by up to 99%. You can add an activity zone. The camera will recognize you, your family, your pets, and any other person that you trust, and it will detect any other stranger that gets in this area, triggering an alert. If you are interested on this product for your home, I will be leaving the link in the description below. Alright, we are all back at work with our bellies full, and we were going to attempt lifting the Skylight with the crane and 4 straps. In this first attempt, we could see that it was a bit tilted, so...
Ô, para aí, Felipe. Pode. Quem vai achar? Tem que mudar aquela cinta para aquela peça para lá. Já está preciso.
Alex went ahead and switched the location of one of the straps to try balancing the load, and it looked much better. Originally, the plan was to assemble the Skylight by hand, piece by piece, already on the roof. But since we had the crane that day, we decided to put it together on the ground and then lift it. I had serious doubts that the crane could handle it. The Skylight was heavy in weight and massive in size, and it needed to be placed with millimetric precision and very far from the crane. So the crane arm needed to be fully extended, which makes the job very complicated for Felipe, today's crane driver. We needed to install the Skylight all the way on top of the corridor of the house. The ceiling of the corridor will be glass, completely open to the sky, and it is one of the design elements I am most excited about. Letting in so much natural light in the space is going to be an amazing feature, and also it will decompress the height of the interior of the building, as when you stand in the corridor it will feel as if there was no ceiling at all. Slowly but surely, we got the skylight closer and closer to its place. Once it was close enough, we asked Felipe to drop it, and then adjusted the final millimeters by hand. With the skylight and all the roof trusses out of the way, we decided to start installing roof panels. We did not plan on installing them today, as first of all, we did not have all the roof panels at the building site. We were going to receive them the next day with another truck, with a crane to install them. But since we were all done already, we decided to start installing roof panels that same day. Here you can see what I was trying to explain earlier. The roof panels sit on top of the L angles that the trusses had pre-installed, and right in between two trusses. Surprisingly, we had prepared this part so well that installing the roof panels went very fast. As you can see here, we were running through them non-stop. Every piece was fitting after the other, and the house was taking shape in a matter of minutes.
Hã?
This was the last roof panel that we had, and I took a moment to film how it connects to the structure in more detail, so you can get a full understanding. It is one thing for me to try to explain it here with words, another to actually see it getting it done with your own eyes.
Epá, qual é a tua porta?
Não sei entender.
Onde é que está o X, Felipe?
É assim como está. É assim como está. Como está.
Alright, we ran out of roof panels to keep installing, but we were on fire and still had some time to keep working. So Blocken decided to keep working and started installing the low walls that go all around the perimeter of the roof. These walls close the exterior facade completely, bringing it to its final height, and also make the interior parapet of the roof, which we will need later on to bring the roof waterproofing membrane all the way up. That was a 10 hours long work day, where the blocking team and us reached another big milestone of the house build, getting the structure almost finished, just missing a few panels that were going to come the next day. Seeing these guys working so extra hard to help us achieve our dreams, I know they get paid and it is their job, but they really went the extra mile to make it just as perfect as possible, and made us very grateful for the one day years ago that I ran across Blocken's website and decided to randomly contact them about ordering a few profiles for the cabin. We ended up buying the profiles for the workshop instead, and looking back I can connect each dot, each moment and each decision we made to be here today. I just want to say a big thank you to Blocken for all the help they have given us. Alright guys, it's the next day, and yesterday we were able to install, I will say, 70% of the roof. Pretty much the whole thing is done, and we also started installing all the perimeter walls that go on the perimeter of the house. And today there is another crane coming. It's not the same crane from Blocken, because we're gonna be delivering also material that we were missing. So the truck is gonna come with the material and with a crane. It is coming with more roof panels and also with the material that we're gonna be using to clad the exterior of the walls and the roof. So yeah, the idea for today is to finish the whole roof, and after that we will start cladding the roof and the walls. So hopefully in a matter of a couple of weeks the shell of the house will be done. And here we were once again, another truck with a crane, bringing all the rest of the roof panels and all the material that we needed to finish the shell of the house.
Hoje vai aqui por cima 3 paletes neste sítio aqui tem parede. 2 lajes e vamos mexer e 4 bandas, daquela, é. Não fica para lado, fica tudo do outro lado. Dentro depois leva. Porta tem que cortar igual.
And also bringing some extra profiles I ordered from the Blocken's website the day earlier, that I will be needing to build the 4 chimneys the house will have, and that I will be building once the roof is cladded. We first offloaded all the roof panels to the ground. Here you can see this second load has the profiles I ordered right on top. This first part of the day was more of the same. We just needed to keep installing all the roof panels one after the other until we had covered the whole roof. We were done in about 1 hour and then used the same crane to offload the material to clad the house. We are going to be using 18mm wooden boards for the roof, and each board weighs a lot, and Blocken wanted to leave all the material on top of the roof. So the boards will be already on the roof at hand for when we need to install them. And that way we will not be needing to lift each board by hand all the way to the roof. I mean, I could see how that was going to be helpful later on, but each pallet had 34 wooden boards and each board weighs around 28 kilograms. So we will be placing no less than 900 kilograms per pallet on the freshly built roof. I asked Alex several times if it was okay to do that, but they were actually really unbothered. They do this very often. In fact, this is what they do all the time, and they had 100% confidence that the structure was going to support all that weight with no issues at all. Then we had the facade panels that are also very heavy. They are a special material that we wanted to use for our house. I will not share many more details in this episode, as I am already working on the next episode where we finish all the exterior of the house and talk about all the details of the materials that we used. You should expect that new episode very soon. The last task was to bring one of the pallets all the way to the north facade, as close as possible to where the panels are going to be installed. Saying that we stretch the limits of what that crane was able to do is an understatement.
Cai não. Encosta a casa lá. Faz força. Vai.
Pera aí.
É para dois lugares, dois vai cair. Olha aqui, dois vai cair. Não, mas aqui é para três, mas aqui é dois.
Epá, cá em casa.
Está mais um pedacinho de um lado e do outro lado.
Vou fazer essa mão.
Depois eu...
Every time you screw a bit of steel comes off and drops on the ground, so after the truck left, I decided to give the house a good clean. While I was vacuuming, I saw a few dark spots on the floor and decided to try to clean them. I think they're coming from the cheap asphaltic membrane I used to protect the floor from scratching while installing the structure, but I'm not quite sure. I tried cleaning it with diesel and with regular gas, but it did not work. I removed a bit of it, but not completely, so I will need to add another task to my to-do list for the future. After that, I decided to use some of the PVC membrane that I had left over from a failed project to protect the floor, as we were going to be getting ready for the next phase of the build, to cover the house.
Aspen, do you like the new house? Eh? Wrong if you like it. Lolita, nice bodysuit. Qué guapa, Lolita. Qué sexy, Lolita.
Thank